Astronaut on the beat.
Take a breath, don't sneeze, feel the pollen in the breeze. I'ma take it back to when we were just younglings. Put you back up on the swings, put you back atop of trees, playing hopscotch, playing tag and running. Smell the pie in the kitchen, the radio, take a listen and see if you pay attention. The lyrics that I be spitting and I forgot to mention, I be feeding bread to pigeons and playing tricks with the riches and happy Halloween mentions. Popcorn and watching cartoons, a simple thrill of every time you hear a car vroom. I've been watching Nickelodeon on the podium, wondering where all my favorite stories be. My mama told me I'll be anything I wanna be, and you been hating on the kid, boy, just wait and see. Soon I'll be boasting about the bread up in my toaster, and you'll go right in my D like the dragster roller coaster. Back when life was a little less serious, back when girls were a little less curious, back when life was a hell of an experience, but it still is, 'cause we ain't growing up, period. Back when life was a little less serious, back when girls were a little less curious, back when life was a hell of an experience, but it still is, we ain't growing up, period.
Don't you love the days of the past when life was so good you always hoped that it would last? Hope one day you would make enough cash, but in the end you knew you were growing up too fast. Ha! My life wasn't so easy to start with. Tried to see what others could, but all I could see was darkness. Fortified my soul in times of such hardship, but when time flew by, that's when the real shit started. Change of pace when I hit junior high. Pretty girl swag when I seen her walk by. Didn't know one day she would change my life in a way I never dreamed, would put my old past behind. Even though she's gone, I'm committed to the game. I've always been told that I never deserved passing grades, but look at what I've obtained. Yeah, guess you could say I'm still living in the past, 'cause the past can never change.
Back when life was a little less serious, back when girls were a little less curious, back when life was a hell of an experience, but it still is, 'cause we ain't growing up, period. Back when life was a little less serious, back when girls were a little less curious, back when life was a hell of an experience, but it still is, 'cause we ain't growing up, period.
Felt like the universe expanded every time I watched SpongeBob. It was a dumb job, young, dumb, punk, hop. Stop, now let me take it back a bit. I'm gonna rip it into pieces, dispersing my innocence. That shit didn't matter when I was on the grow. Slow it down, let's bring it around when I was closer to the ground. Let's talk about the days we were misunderstood. Anything we could, we would, before we knew the world wasn't all good. Just in my hood, seemed to be a galaxy. Wasn't worried about girls, hell, my mom was my majesty. No one could handle me on a spree, climbing trees, that was the steez. Dumbass was the epiphany. Before the dollar had value, but quarters meant the world. At the arcade, beating all the scores of all the girls people talk about back in the day. Let's bring it back to today, be simplifying our ways.
Back when life was a little less serious, back when girls were a little less curious, back when life was a hell of an experience, but it still is, 'cause we ain't growing up, period. Back when life was a little less serious, back when girls were a little less curious, back when life was a hell of an experience, but it still is, we ain't growing up, period.
Thank God for my photographic memory. The past is the center of the focus of my energy. The good times still reign supreme. If I could turn back time, I wouldn't change a thing. See, I miss flying back and forth on the tire swing. I'ma be real, that's what I call the finer things. But the good comes packaged with the bad. Living as a single unit with my mom and my dad. Now I'm tearing up, wishing they were still together. Whatever, I guess that's the price of reminiscing on the sunny weather. Remember Pee-wee basketball and the pretty faces with names you can't recall. Nah, I think what makes ambition for the future blossom is reflecting on the past. Like damn, this shit was awesome, but that's behind me, so I'm sewing it shut, because the present is a gift. Go and open it up.